Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about telling time to the quarter hour. So last time we learned about half an hour. Now we're going to learn about the quarter hour. So the title is Time to the Quarter Hour. Now, what you need to know is that you can show time to the quarter hour. And there are 15 minutes in a quarter hour. So in 1/4 hour, there's 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15. So this is what we call a quarter hour. Okay? Now this is, when you go to halfway down, that's 30 minutes. Now you see when we go from 15 to 30, that's another quarter. Okay? So sometimes we can go half past the hour, we can move by quarters. Or we can go another 15 minutes here, and that takes us to 45 minutes, and all the way, that's 1, 2, 3 quarters. And then when we go from 45 all the way back up top, let me erase that, that's 60 minutes. So if you look at a clock, you can divide it into 4 parts. And each of the 4 parts is called a quarter of an hour. So here's 1/4 at 15 minutes, 2 quarters at 30 minutes, 3 quarters at 45 minutes, and then 4 quarters, we call that 1 hour. But remember, today we're learning time to the quarter hour. So I'm going to repeat myself again. You can show time in a quarter hour. And there are 15 minutes in 1/4 hour. And there are 4 quarters in 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our 4 quarters. So now what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to tell what time it is and then write the time. Okay? So if someone asks you, let's use our clock now. Okay? So let me move my clock to, what time does that say? You're right, that's 1 o'clock. Okay? So right here on my first sentence, I'm just going to write what I see. So remember, when we tell time, we look at the hour hand first, and the hour hand always points to that number. So that number is a 1, and the minute is right at the top. So we just say it is, what o'clock is it? Well, it's 1 o'clock, so I'm going to write 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So that's how we say it. But how do we write the time? Well, we write it like this. 1 o'clock. And the 2 zeros means there's no minutes right now. Okay. So let's say now that our clock moves 1/4 past. Okay. So look at our hour hand. It's going to move a quarter. And how many minutes is a quarter? That's right, 15 minutes. So I'm going to move right there to the 15. Sometimes it doesn't stick, so I'm going to put my finger there. So what time is it now? What we say when we want to tell the time is right now it is a quarter, 1/4 past 1. So I'm going to write that here. Let's see if it moves. 1/4 past 1. Okay. Now, how do we write a 1/4 past 1? Well, we write it this way. So we write the hour first, 1, and then we write the number of minutes that the minute hand moved, and you can see it moved 15 minutes, or 1/4 hour. So in the minutes, we write 15. So what time is it? It's a 1/4 past 1. How do we write it? We write it like this, 1:15. You can even say 1:15 if you want to. Now let's say, in our next example, that we move another quarter. So if we move 1 more quarter, that means 15 minutes. We're going to go 5, 10, 15 minutes. Okay? So now it is the minute hand moved halfway past 1. So right now, when someone asks, what time is it? Well, we say it's 1/2 Okay? So I'm going to write 1/2 1. Okay. But how do we write the time? So we look at our hour hand again, and we know when the hour hand moves a little bit, we always know that we go back to the smaller number. So it's still 1. And then we look down here and we look at our minutes. And we know that when the minute hand is halfway around the clock, it's at 30. So we write the minutes, 30 minutes. Okay. So what time is it now? Well, we say 1:30. How do we write it? 1:30. Okay. That means it's the hour is 1 and it's 30 minutes past 1. Okay. Now let's say for our last example, we move another quarter or another 15 minutes. So if we move another 15 minutes, we go 5, 10, 15. Let's see if it sticks. Oh, it's close enough. Well, what time is it now? What we say is it is now 1/4 till. Till is a short way of saying until. So it's a quarter till or until the next hour, and the next hour coming up is 2, right? So we're gonna write a quarter till 2. Okay. Now, here comes the tricky part. Okay. This is how we really write it. We're still not all the way up. So you notice our hour hand is in between the 1 and the 2, and remember our rule. When the hour hand is between 2 numbers, we always say the lesser number first. So it is still 1, the hour is still 1. But the minutes, how many minutes have we traveled all the way around the clock? We've gone 15, 30, and it tells us right here, 45. So that's what we write in the minutes. It is 1:45. Okay. So when we say this time, we can say, oh, it is a quarter till 2. You can even say a quarter until 2 o'clock. But when we write it as 1:45. So that's how we tell time to the quarter hour. So just to review, boys and girls, a clock is divided into 4 quarters. 1, 2, let's do it this way. 1 quarter, 2 quarters or half past, 3 quarters or 15 minutes until or till the next hour, 4 quarters, and that's a whole hour. Okay, so a quarter, if you remember, of an hour is 15 minutes, and a clock has 4 quarters. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Okay, so today what I want you to do is just practice watching this video, and I'm going to give you a little practice sheet just to work on today. Have a good day practicing telling time to the quarter hour.